This is a special edition of Late Night Health. I'm Mark Alyn. I'm really honored and pleased to speak to a friend of mine. Her name is Marbeth Dunn, and she's an author, an empath. She helps people. We're going to find out how. And we were just chatting, about being sequestered. Marbeth is on the East Coast in Florida. I'm here in California. And I told her that I had a beard. In fact, many of you have seen my beard, and I shaved it off a couple of days ago because I got a comment from somebody who said, Mark, you look like Gabby Hayes. And that was it. Back to the razors. And I can't understand why, Marbeth. It hurts when your hair is longer. It doesn't make sense to me, right?
No, did you brush it?
Yeah, well, I put cream on it and all that. I used to use a brush. I have a brush, but I
Oh,
didn't use.
maybe it just was, just tight and wanted to breathe freely.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Before we talk about what you do in helping people, can we talk a little bit about what you and uh, Harrison have done for COVID-19 and staying in?
Oh, we've definitely been staying in for 2 months now, although I haven't really counted the days. We're using Instacart to have our groceries delivered, and Whole Foods delivers also. And so we're wiping all the groceries down. We are walking every evening, which is different. We never did before. I have found myself doing something different also. I've been, no, I'm an energy healer. I'm a intuitive energy management person, and using energy, all different kinds of energy, to in all different ways. And so recently I found myself morning and night. I've actually tapped into a whole different energy source, using it on myself morning and night. And that's been a very interesting occurrence. And then yesterday I found myself with a client who's in California, and she's been experiencing neuropathy and also pain in her hands. And I've been using a different, I just automatically use whatever shows up, just to help. And I found myself using this new energy on her. So that was very interesting.
That is interesting. Are you going stir crazy a little bit or not?
A little bit. We have actually ventured out to get takeout maybe once every 2 weeks. And, and so that's been like the big excursion, picking up prescriptions from the pharmacy. And, we've had a few things to do, like mail a package, actually a couple of packages. I got my mask on, we're being so careful. But,
Yeah.
hopefully this will pass soon. But I'm not actually, our area is starting to open up. And my hairdresser called me. I mean, I cut my hair myself using a YouTube video.
I think that's fun. It looks good.
Thank you. And then
You're welcome.
also, and then I used my nails were gone, from the manicure,
Sure.
and so I actually, I sent off for some polish, and I'm doing them myself now. And, I think, it's been very positive in a number of ways, and old clients have reached out to me. I was talking with a friend whose mother died of COVID in Canada.
Oh,
Yeah, her mother's 100 years old, was a Holocaust survivor. And she
right.
couldn't go to the funeral. She had to watch it on Zoom. And she was the one who was designated to say a few words at the funeral. And she was telling me that when all of this started, she got really busy and everybody needed help. And she ended up in the hospital because, as an empath, you have to be really careful that you're not using your own energy to help other people. That's really crucial.
And we should talk about the empath part of your life. Have you always been empathic? And let's get a description of that. That to me, that means that you can feel if I'm sad or suicidal
I
or
can
happy.
feel if I tap in, I can feel where you're holding issues in your body, in your physical body. And it started, oh, maybe I don't know how many years ago in Germany. I was talking to someone. It was just, a call, and I started to feel this heaviness in my chest, and I realized it wasn't mine. So I tapped in. I was like, what is it? And I realized that he was carrying a lot of grief and sadness there. So I wrote it down. And the next thing is I suddenly felt like this stabbing pain in my back. I was like, oh my God, betrayal. So I wrote, I wrote that down. So I got this whole laundry list of what was going on with him and where he was holding it in his body. His body was effectively communicating with me from Germany, and I'm in Miami. And I thought, well, this is really amazing. And so then I said, well, now what do I do with this? So I asked his body how it wanted me to proceed. And it told me, where to work. I mean, I was picking up information intuitively. And so I followed the body's request, and all of a sudden it was like he went click 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 click, and he just went into alignment. It was like magic, and I
Wow.
was stunned. And so that became a new way for me to work, where I would just tap in, where are people holding their issues. And and I find that it's been right on, for years now. And um, I do need to watch myself and be careful, because I don't want to end up in the hospital either. But there are ways of circumventing that, and I use them. I use different protective measures, like I might suit up like like Iron Woman, not Iron Man, but Iron Woman. Gloves and everything. Just like completely, you know,
Right.
impervious, and I only allow in love and nothing that's going to deplete me.
Can you
I might
turn
put
it on? Can you turn this on and off? I've talked to
no,
many.
no, I can't.
No. So if
It
you walk in a mall, when we
Oh
had
yeah, I
malls,
would shield myself. I would shield myself,
okay.
because it can even happen. Like if you're driving down the street and all of a sudden you're like, ah, "What just happened?" You know.
Oh my.
Well, it doesn't to me anymore. And, and usually I forget to protect myself. But many years ago, Harrison, he had a quadruple bypass. And it was like 5 years ago. And he had this miraculous recovery. He was just recovering so quickly. Most people, when they have any kind of heart surgery, they go into a depression and they experience a lot of pain. He never had any of that. This man who wakes up singing. And but I noticed that I was very depleted. And the more he was getting better, the worse I was getting. So totally subconsciously, he was somehow I was like giving him my energy because I wanted him to heal. And once I realized what was happening, I stopped it. And all of a sudden he crashed. But I figured, no, he needs to get better on his own, which he did, but that was pretty interesting because it was totally unbeknownst to me. And when it happens, now my body is clear sentient, so very often it'll warn me if I'm going someplace where I need to shield up. I'll
And
feel it.
that Iron Woman suit is not a physical suit, is it?
No.
No. It doesn't. You can't fly with it,
Wouldn't that be fun?
wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? But you and Harrison are connected,
We
right?
are
I mean,
connected and on so
right?
many levels. And so, it's like I knew that he needed, he wanted to heal, and he needed some healing energy. But I would have preferred to just say, okay, I'm going to send you this healing energy rather than, just have it automatically coming out of me. So, but once I realized it was like, okay, all cords are, energetic cords are being cut now. And so, and all is good,
That
but
is.
But my friend did end up in the hospital because she was helping so many people and she wasn't really taking care of herself. You don't realize it right away.
But even
Sometimes you
just
do.
speaking to you, you radiate such positive energy. I can feel it over our Zoom connection. Really? Have people told you that before?
Oh yeah,
I
I
mean,
do because
look at that smile, everybody. You
yeah,
know,
it's been very interesting ride. I didn't know that I was empathic until I was becoming a Reiki master. And what I always used to think there was something wrong with me. I'd go into a party or I'd meet people and I would get sick. I'd just be bombarded by all of this energy and it was too much. And I'd have asthma attacks. And I just thought, oh, there's something really wrong here. I'm just very sickly. So I developed this self-image that wasn't healthy. And I didn't know that it was actually a gift. We don't come with a handbook.
well, it's like being a parent.
Yeah, we don't come
There's
with a
no,
handbook for that either.
no, you don't. They don't. Marbeth Dunn is our guest. She's an author, an empath, intuitive. Her life's work is helping people, and we'll be giving you her website so you can check her out a little bit later on. Actually, it's up throughout our interview. Marbeth, when you were a kid, did you have any of these kinds of feelings, or did you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse?
I
Did you
wanted to be a
pursue that?
veterinarian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I got accepted into Cornell Agricultural School,
Oh
but
wow.
I didn't get housing, so I couldn't go. Everything works out perfectly. And actually, that's my mantra. Everything goes right for me. But, for most of my life, I was not healthy and I was in a very difficult marriage and just there was so much that was not functioning well and I kept seeking. I was a seeker and I looked for, you know, all different types of paths, from the I Ching and Buddhist chanting and Eidetics, Dianetics, you name it. I was trying everything to try because I knew that there had to be a way that I would feel good. And it turns
you
out there
you
was.
you were raised in a religious home,
Yes.
and how did they react to Marbeth now? I mean,
Well, I have a great relationship with my family now, but I was kind of the black sheep because I left home with my ex-husband and we lived on a mountaintop in Haiti without electricity or city water.
oh no,
Yeah, I was a painter and I was Marbeth of Haiti and I had, I was so I was pretty messed up, and I was really looking for help. And luckily, I found a path, and it really worked for me. I discovered that, I was reading all kinds of spiritual books, and one that really resonated with me was A Course in Miracles, and couldn't understand it when I read it. But I just plunged in and I just decided to, okay, I'll try this. What have I got to lose? Everything's so bad anyway. I went through 7 coups d'etats in Haiti,
oh
when
my,
Baby Doc was there.
oh wow,
I had a tourist business. I was a painter and I made limited edition prints and note cards and stationery, did murals and portraits. And, the tourist market dried up.
right.
You can't really have tourists when you're having all of these instabilities in government. But I learned that my thoughts had power. I didn't believe that before.
Do you think most people believe that thoughts have power?
I think it's becoming a lot more mainstream, but people are still learning that. And our thoughts really do have power. So when we're constantly saying, Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, this is just awful. I can't wait till this is over. You know, you can reframe that. In fact, I just put up a video on Facebook yesterday on love or fear. You know, it depends on what lenses you're wearing. You know, are you going to look through love lenses where everything has a where you can look through love and compassion, and if people are behaving miserably, then you can still bless them with love. And then there, or are you going to look through the lenses of being a victim? Because I was that victim for so many years, and I was looking through those lenses, and I felt helpless and powerless and unable to really change anything. But as soon as I grasped that my thoughts had power and I could shift them, wow, life began to change, and miracles started flowing. And it's been,
Is
it's
life
been good.
which is great, which is
Yeah,
great. Um, is life supposed to be hard?
no,
But
it
why
really
is it
isn't.
then?
Huh?
Why is it then for so many people?
Well, a lot of it is has to do, and a lot of people seem to be being dealt a very difficult hand. I have been through that many times, where um, I've had great difficulties in my life, um, but I've recognized that everything is an opportunity. It's all things are lessons God would have me learn. That's from A Course in Miracles. And it's true. My grandmother used to always say that we're in school. And, I just figure we each have our individual lessons and are each have an opportunity to grow. And I think we don't really see the big picture because we think that we're limited to being a physical body. But when you move into the recognition that we're spiritual beings, that we're so much greater than this physical body, that's really who we are, and that as spiritual beings we don't die, we're eternal. And and so everything that we're experiencing now is pretty much of a dream. So
Interesting.
that's
Well, then,
my thoughts.
to me, in my belief, and I'm not a healer. I'm not. I'm spiritual, but I'm not. I don't. I talk to people like you. You know that. We
Yeah.
talked about that. In fact, you featured. I was on a guest about a month ago um, on your show, and it was such fun to be on there. And but I'm not a. I am a teacher. I
Yes,
mean,
you are.
yeah, but I teach different things than what you do. I'm not an energy healer. I love having it done, but I don't do any of that kind of thing. And uh, what I'm,
That's not
I,
actually true.
no,
You exude a very positive energy, and your energy is very healing for people just being around you.
wow, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Um, but I guess I'm not doing it either for a living or to help people. I always say that when I'm doing an interview, two things happen. One, I make a connection with somebody. I learn, and I'm hoping that people who are listening and watching, they also learn. And I've been doing that for 30,000 plus interviews. Okay.
Wow, that's so impressive and
I mean,
amazing.
thank you. And I mean, from all walks of life, uh, I've done news, I've done uh, financial news, I've done reporting, I've been food is a passion of mine, so I've done a lot of uh, restaurant reviewing and things, and stopped when I started gaining weight. And um, but please, don't you want another taste of this? Yes, I do, but I can't. Please. And so, um, in dealing with people yourself, because people they're messed up. I mean, let's face it. A lot of us we don't know what we want to do. We don't know our purpose. And can you help people find their purpose and end up with that happy life?
I do. That's one of the things that I do, and help people in transition. Because when people are in transition, they need a steady balance. What I like to do is to help people reconnect with source energy, to reconnect with that guidance. And the way that we reconnect, one of the easiest ways, is to come from a place of appreciation, but also to choose what feels more peaceful. It's like finding your way step by step. Does this make me feel peaceful? Or it's like, if you turn on the news, that is
Oh, I
not
can't
going to
do that
make you feel
anymore.
peaceful.
Yeah, no.
And so and actually last night I was reading an article about this COVID patient, and before I went to sleep, and I said, oh, I don't want to go to sleep with that being the last thing that I read. I mean, she was a little girl and she recovered, but I immediately chose something spiritual to read so that I would have other thoughts. And that we have to make those choices. It's a conscious choice. Every second we have that opportunity, with one foot in front of the other. I'm going to choose something peaceful, because when we're peaceful is the time when we are able to connect, with our higher self, with spirit.
And people
And
tell
then
me that I often don't, I'm not listening. I'm listening to you, but maybe not up there. We're out of time, but would you come back? Well, can we do this again?
I would love to.
And I mean, this was kind of helter skelter a little bit, but I thought it was fun.
It was definitely fun. Yeah.
And what is your website, just so people can hear it?
It's marbethdunn.com.
And that's MAR capital BETH Dunn DUNN.com,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Uh-huh.
And Marbeth will be back with us. We'll have her back in the future. Uh, uh, I want this on tape, so please say hi to Harrison for me, Harrison Klein,
I
and
will.
hold on just a second, okay?
Sure.
I'm Mark Alyn. This is Late Night Health. We'll be back very soon. See you then.